What up, YouTube? Crash Wilcox. So you just built a Ryzen, huh? Or you're at least thinking about it. Well, welcome to the bandwagon. I think you're making a good choice. It's hard to argue against AMD in early 2020. Price to performance is just, it's hard to come to a different conclusion than buying AMD. And let me guess, Ryzen 5 3600X seems to be what everybody's buying these days. Nothing wrong with that. It's a good CPU. But in this video, I kind of want to walk through what to do after you've built your PC. So I know we watch a lot of videos on how to build it, parts, build guides, and those sorts of things. But I want to go the next step. So your computer's fully built, ready to go. You just need to turn it on. Then what? So that's what this video is going to be. So it's kind of for maybe 3 different kinds of people. So maybe number 1, you're kind of pretty new to the whole computer space. Maybe you had a friend who kind of convinced you that, hey, don't go and buy one, just build one yourself, and you need better value, better performance, and stuff like that, which is true. Number 2, maybe you've always had pre-built computers and you just buy them from the store, you plug them in, and they're ready to go. Everything you need is sort of on there. And number 3, maybe it's 3 and 4 combined. You've built computers, but it's been a really long time, years and years since you actually built your last computer. Or maybe you're coming from Intel over to AMD, so there might be a few little quirks that are different. So it's going to be for those kinds of people. So we're just going to walk through sort of the sites to go to, the things to download. And this isn't going to be an exhaustive list. There's probably other things that people can contribute. And if you think of something that I missed, go ahead and throw that down in the comments. Let me know. It could help somebody else out. And also, this isn't going to be like a step-by-step guide of how to download each individual program. So you'll have to, walk through that on your own. This is just going to be telling you what to get. So we're going to start right here. First thing to get is your Windows 10. That's not what I wanted. Windows 10. I'm assuming you're going to go Windows. This is just a more generic. You could be doing a Hackintosh or a Linux computer, but for the majority of us, we're going to be doing Windows. So first thing you want to do is get a bootable USB flash drive and put Windows 10 on it. I'm going to link in the description to a video from Tech Deals that kind of walks you through step-by-step how to get your Windows 10 on the thumb drive, install it, and everything like that. So just link to that or go click on that video in the description. There'll also be in that video, click on it, because on the next slide, I'm going to show you there's a code for 20% off of Windows 10. So you're going to have to download a USB boot drive with Windows 10. You can do that right here, download tool now. And once you have that on the boot drive, you're going to have to actually purchase a copy of Windows 10. So for that, I would recommend urcdkey.com. So as you can see, urcdkey.com. And this is where the promo code is going to give you 20% off. So you just come in here, type in Windows, and you can see there's a lot of different copies of Windows. But right here, you can get a copy of Windows 10 Pro, $17. Windows 10 Home Edition, $15. And with that 20% off code, save you even more money. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about getting Windows 10, eBay, whatever happens to be. This is the way I've always done it. I've probably purchased 7 or 8 different copies of Windows on here. They're great, no watermark, nothing. They're just legitimate copies of Windows. So you're going to go ahead and purchase one of these, wait for it to give you the product key. So then when you put your thumb drive in, you turn your computer on for the first time and it brings you to that Windows screen. This is going to be the product key that you put in to give you your copy of Windows. So now you got Windows installed. The next thing you want to do after that is come to the AMD website. So you're going to come amd.com, and then you're just going to click on drivers and support, and that's going to bring you to this website. And then you're going to just go through each different component that you have that is AMD. So for me, so you're going to click on your processor first, Ryzen. So all of my components are AMD. So, I mean, AMD, obviously CPU, and graphics card. I have a 5700 XT. So if this was NVIDIA, you would go to the NVIDIA site, but this is AMD build. So you're going to click on your AMD Ryzen processor, whatever it happens to be. Like I said, I'm assuming you went Ryzen 5 3600, just a guess. But you're going to click on that and you're going to submit, and it'll pull you up to the next page with the available drivers for that CPU. Click on it, and that'll bring you to Ryzen Master. You can download that. Hold on, this should have taken you to, let me see. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm jumping the gun. So yeah, go there. I'll just click on mine because I have a Ryzen 9 3900. Submit. Yep, and you're going to download your Ryzen Master software. And we'll just pull that up here really quick. This is what it's going to look like once you've downloaded it. And this is just kind of a central hub for if you want to overclock your CPU, if you want your RAM timings, whatever happens to be. This is sort of the hub for that. So you can see, come in here. They've got a couple of different modes and profiles. And sorry, my kids are running all over the place like crazy people. So you click on profile 1. I don't really overclock my CPU. I've done it. But coming in here, you just set a precision boost overdrive, auto overclocking, whatever happens to be. And then you can save your profiles here. If you come into manual, this is where you can really get to the overclocking. If you want to basically start sliding your CPU clock speeds around, messing with all that, messing with your voltage. If you want to come down here and start messing with your RAM speeds, and then obviously your Infinity Fabric, you can start messing with all that stuff. So this is where you want to do that. All your overclocking is going to be done in Ryzen Master, or should be. There's other tools, but this is the best one for AMD in my opinion. It's what it was made for. So now that you've got your processor, you're going to go to your chipset. Like I said, I have an X570 motherboard. So you're going to click on chipset, AM4, X570, same thing, submit. And then you're just going to come in here and you're going to grab your chipset drivers. There's a few other things. I may do a video about StoreMI technology. It sounds super awesome. I haven't dug a ton into it. Do your research on StoreMI technology. It sounds pretty sweet. But anyways, yep, you're just going to download your chipset drivers. And then lastly, you're going to come in here for your graphics card. So 5700 series, and then I have a 5700 XT. You're going to submit there, and then you're going to come into Windows 10, and then this is your Radeon software. So just make sure that you're getting the most current version. So 20.2.1 currently is the version, and you're going to download that. And then that is going to be, so let me just pull that up. That's your Radeon software, and that's what this is going to look like once you get that set up. So once you've downloaded all those programs, you're done with your AMD specific drivers. So all your graphics drivers, all that sort of stuff should be set up, ready to go. That's the most important. So then moving on from there, it's going to kind of depend on the components that you have. So for me, I have an ASRock Steel Legend Wi-Fi motherboard, and I have an MSI Gaming X graphics card. So I'm going to move to my company specific components. So moving to MSI, and then same thing. You're just going to go and search for your specific drivers on MSI. So you can come in here to downloads, and then you're just going to walk through what it is. Graphics card. I have an AMD GPU, and it is a 5700 XT, and it's a Gaming X. And then you're going to search for that, and it's going to pull up drivers. So this will tell you for your graphics drivers to go to AMD. You've already done that. So now you just come into the utility drivers, and again, select your operating system, and then you can download Dragon Center, which is kind of Whereas Ryzen Master, you can overclock and do that sort of stuff with your CPU. For MSI Dragon Center is what allows you to do that for your graphics card. So you can download that driver. And then, so now you've got your CPU and your graphics card. So, and then I'll just pull these up. So if you happen to have a Gigabyte graphics card, motherboard, same thing. You're going to go find their drivers, click on them, and then you're going to be just downloading the utilities, BIOS if you have to. So ASUS, if you have an ASUS, you're going to, same thing, come here, look for whatever it is that you're trying to find, a graphics card, let me see, AMD, whatever. I haven't even looked through this yet. So we got ROG Strix RX 580. Boom, you can come here to drivers and tools. And then same thing, you're just selecting whatever it happens to be, your utilities, all that sort of stuff. But like I said, we have MSI, so you're going to come to your MSI graphics card specific. So now we've got, like I said, CPU is done, graphics card is done. Now we're moving on to the motherboard. Like I said, I have an ASRock motherboard. So for ASRock, you don't really need to update the BIOS. Maybe you guys have some other things you can tell me in the comments, but if you put your motherboard in, you put all your components in, and your computer is running smoothly, there's no need to update your BIOS. If you're having issues and you're with your computer and you've tried everything else, try flashing to a new BIOS if there is one. But otherwise, if you put it in and it's working, just leave it alone. You don't need to update it just for the sake of updating it. But with ASRock specifically, you're going to come in and download the ASRock App Shop. So you're just going to go and Google or DuckDuckGo ASRock's App Shop, and it'll tell you this in your motherboard instructions where to go. Come down here and you'll download the App Shop. And then we can, do I have that pulled up here? Thought I did. Anyways, in the ASRock App Shop, I think there's might be a picture of it. Anyways, it's going to look something like this. And this is where you're going to download your Polychrome RGB controller. So if you have RGB and lights and stuff like that that you want to update, go ahead and grab it right there. You can do all that. It'll give you BIOS and drivers updates. It'll let you know if there's something you need to update inside ASRock. And then again, same thing here. If you got Gigabyte, ASUS, MSI, search for those specific products. So once you have that done, you've got your CPU, you've got your, you guys can go on. You've got your CPU, you've got your graphics card, you've got your motherboard all set up with all your drivers downloaded. And from there, I think those are sort of the main things that you need to have downloaded for your computer to be up and running to the best of its ability. So from there, I think there's just maybe a few things that I would recommend that you download. So we've already kind of, if you would have seen me scrolling through MSI, probably the number one thing that I think you should download if you're kind of getting into computers and whatever gaming is MSI Afterburner. MSI Afterburner is just a great tool to show you on screen, basically live, how your computer is functioning. So it'll give you, depending on how you set it up, you can see your average frame rates, you can see your CPU and GPU temperatures, your clock speeds, your fan speeds, whatever it happens to be, you can watch real time how they're performing. So it's a good tool to utilize. Not necessary, it's not mandatory, but it's a very useful tool. And again, I will link to a video on how the video that I used to kind of set my MSI Afterburner up. You can use the same video. And then next from MSI Afterburner, I think you should download CPU-Z. It is just a very, let me see, I think I have some of these pulled up, don't I? I think I just have CPU-Z. But you download CPU-Z, and this is the MSI theme CPU-Z, so it doesn't have to look like that. As you can see here, there's a lot of different ones that you can download that'll look slightly different. But CPU-Z is just a good little piece of software that kind of tells you what your computer, like it monitors your hardware, it tells you what you have, how it's running. So you can see here, it'll tell me I have a Ryzen 9 3900X, and make sure that it's got the core voltage, it's got cores and threads. It'll tell you that. It'll tell you, yep, that's the motherboard that I'm running. It'll give you your BIOS version. So if you're ever curious about what BIOS version that you have, CPU-Z will show you that. If you're curious if your RAM is running at the speed that you want it to, if you set XMP and you're unsure if it actually took in your BIOS, you can come here and it'll tell you RAM frequency 1800. Yep, that checks because I got 3600 megahertz RAM. So that is as it should look. Again, it'll tell you your speed, it'll give you your graphics card. Yep, there it is. 5700 XT. That checks. And then you can even come in here and give yourself a little benchmark and stuff like that. So that's just a really useful tool to kind of monitor what your system is doing. If everything that you've put in there checks out, if it's running right, just a real simple little thing to put your mind at ease that everything is where it needs to be. And then outside of those two, again, there's a lot of different programs you can download, and please let me know in the comments if there's anything that you guys recommend. But lastly, I would say move on from there into your peripherals. So I just have one pull up here. So I have like a Logitech headset and a mouse. So you can download the Logitech G Hub, for example. Maybe you have a Corsair components or peripherals or something like that. You download those peripheral specific programs and utilities that they have, because they all have something. Logitech, you can go in here and I can change the acoustics and stuff like that. I can mess with my headset in here. So that's useful to have. So that's the way you kind of want to get your computer set up after you've done the build. So you want to go to your CPU specific AMD drivers. Then you want to move into your motherboard and your graphics card specific drivers, and just, again, search the websites for that company, whatever it happens to be, MSI, ASRock, ASUS, whatever it happens to be. Search that specific company's website for the drivers, download all those, and then you want to move from there into maybe some extra utilities that are computer specific, so the Afterburners, the CPU-Zs, and then you want to branch out into some of your peripheral stuff so that you got sort of full control of the equipment that you have. And then lastly, if you are just curious, there's a few other things that you can download. So let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I wasn't going to pull this up, so this might be a mess, but what else do I have on here? Oh, so I can pull up the app shop real quick. So this is my app shop. So yeah, you can see right here the RGB LED, that polychrome utility. BIOS and drivers. There's nothing, no available update. That could be messed up, but that's fine. So this is what you're going to update for ASRock. And then, some different things in here. Like I have certain benchmarks that I run. So like the Star Control benchmark. CPU-Z, like that Cupid company that you download CPU-Z from, also has Hardware Monitor. It's a free download, and all the stuff that I'm telling you to download is free, so you don't have to pay for any of this. But if you want to monitor exactly how your system is running, you can maybe mirror this up with your Ryzen Master software, and this will give you a really good idea of how your computer is running. Yeah, so that's really about it, man. Let me know how you guys thought this video was, if you thought it should have been more in depth, or if, like I said, I left some things out or kind of glanced over them too fast. If you got questions that I didn't answer, please let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to answer any questions that you have. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and then stick around. Very shortly, I will have a how to set up your Intel computer. if you're thinking about going that route as well. So until next time, God bless.